What if hitting 100 years old wasn't some far-off dream, but something you could actually start working toward today with surprisingly simple steps? In Japan, a country known for its longevity, their oldest practicing physician was still seeing patients at over 100 years old. He didn't rely on trendy supplements or harsh diet restrictions. His secret? Eating the same wholesome, straightforward foods every single day. And before he passed, he shared the lifestyle habits that kept him going strong. Let's break it down into small, doable changes that you can start using now. In the United States, the average life expectancy is about 76, but in Okinawa, Japan, it's 84, and many residents live well past 100, still tending their gardens, preparing meals, and living independently. So, what's their secret? It's not about magic pills or costly medical care. It's about what they eat and how they live. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara made it to 105 and kept practicing medicine until he was 100. His philosophy? Keep things simple, stick to a few healthy habits, find happiness in everyday moments. Today, we're going to look at 5 powerful practices he lived by, ones that could help you feel more energized, improve your digestion, and think more clearly after 60. Let's talk about one big mistake people often make, especially in the West: overeating and ignoring the body's natural signals. In the US, it's common to aim for feeling full, to clean your plate, and to see value in big portions. But in Okinawa, folks do things differently. They follow something called hara hachi bu, which means stopping when you're about 80% full, not stuffed, just comfortably satisfied. Why does this matter, you might ask? Because eating just a bit less can help reduce calorie overload, lower inflammation, decrease oxidative stress, and support long-term health without crash dieting. In fact, researchers from the National Institute on Aging have shown that moderate calorie reduction is tied to longer life and better metabolic function. Dr. Hinohara stood by this. He ate lightly, took his time with each bite, and often left meals still slightly hungry. He said it kept his mind sharp and his energy high well into his 90s. Let me introduce you to Helen, a 68-year-old from Ohio. She was raised on the idea that wasting food was wrong, so she always finished every bite, even when she wasn't hungry. Over time, she began experiencing bloating, fatigue, and restless sleep. Then she learned about hara hachi bu. She started pausing midway through meals and asking herself, "Am I still hungry? Or just finishing because I always do?" And guess what? She started sleeping better, feeling more alert during the day, and enjoying her meals more than ever. You can try this tonight. Eat a little slower. Put your fork down between bites. When you're around 70% full, take a moment and check in with yourself, because the amount you eat is just the start. Now let's move to the next common mistake: skipping beans and plant-based proteins. Let's talk protein. It's key for strength, healing, and aging well. But here's a common misstep, especially in the American diet. We tend to think protein only comes from meat. But in Okinawa, where people regularly live beyond 100, their main protein sources aren't steaks or burgers, they're plants, especially soy. Foods like tofu, miso, natto, and edamame aren't just occasional dishes in Japan, they're everyday essentials in a diet built for longevity. So why do they matter? Because soybeans offer a complete plant-based protein, along with isoflavones that reduce inflammation and promote heart health, plus prebiotic fiber that supports gut bacteria. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition even found that consistent soy consumption is linked to lower bad cholesterol, stronger bones, and a reduced risk of memory loss as we age. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, one of Japan's most respected and longest practicing doctors, credited much of his vitality to one surprising staple: he ate tofu nearly every single day. He was convinced it helped keep his arteries clear and supported smooth digestion, even as he aged well into his 90s. Now let's meet Frank, a 73-year-old retiree from Arizona. For most of his life, he steered clear of soy. "I always thought tofu was for vegetarians or came with unwanted hormones," he admitted. But after catching a documentary about the diet of Japanese elders, Frank got curious. He made a small change, Just twice a week, he swapped out his usual steak for a tofu stir-fry with bok choy, fresh garlic, and a bit of ginger. Nothing fancy, just wholesome and easy. Within 3 weeks, he noticed his blood pressure drop, the stiffness in his knees ease up, and he no longer needed his usual afternoon nap. Here's the real lesson. You don't have to go full-on vegetarian to feel the benefits. What your body needs is variety and balance. Try mixing in some lentils, black beans, or tofu a couple of times a week. That small shift can go a long way. Now let's talk about another powerful, age-defying tool, one that's been a breakfast tradition in Japan for generations but often gets overlooked in American kitchens. Enter mistake number 3, skipping out on fermented foods. This is one of Japan's quiet but profound longevity secrets. It's not about fancy pills or lab-made vitamins. It's about ancient tradition, gentle, warm, and alive with nutrients. Fermented foods like miso, natto, pickled vegetables, and seaweed are all everyday items in Okinawan households. They're loaded with live probiotics, natural enzymes, and inflammation-fighting compounds that support everything from your gut to your immune system. Here in the U.S., many seniors spend big on probiotic supplements, but the truth is, real fermented foods bring something that pills can't: synergy. It's the harmony of whole foods and beneficial bacteria working together. Let's take Claire, for example. She's a 70-year-old retired librarian who struggled for years with bloating, sluggish digestion, and that uncomfortable, heavy feeling after meals. "I tried every powder and pill the store offered," she said, but nothing helped, until a friend dropped off a jar of authentic miso paste. Claire began sipping a simple cup of warm miso broth each morning. Just 1 cup, no drastic diet changes, no extra pills. By the second week, she felt a difference. Her stomach felt light. Her energy stayed steady through the day. Her appetite evened out. The secret wasn't in a bottle. It was in the living, active cultures of real food. You can try it too. Stir a spoonful of miso into warm water, or enjoy a few slices of naturally fermented pickles. It's about more than digestion. It's about aging with grace and resilience. Now let's dive into another big myth we've been sold in the West, one that has many older Americans avoiding a food group the Japanese embrace daily for heart and artery health. Mistake number 4, being afraid of carbs and avoiding sweet potatoes. In today's health world, carbs often get a bad rap. Cut carbs to lose weight, we hear. Seniors should skip the starch. But that's only half the truth. Not all carbohydrates are created equal, and some might actually help you live a longer, healthier life. Take Japanese purple sweet potatoes. These aren't just beautiful, they're nutritional powerhouses. In fact, they make up over 60% of the daily caloric intake for many Okinawan elders who regularly live past 100. What makes them stand out? Well, it's all thanks to their powerhouse of anthocyanins, those deep-colored antioxidants that help protect your blood vessels and slow down the wear and tear of aging on your cells. They're also rich in fiber, which not only supports healthy digestion but keeps your blood sugar steady and helps avoid those sudden crashes. And here's the bonus. These little gems have a low glycemic index so they don't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, Japan's legendary longevity expert, often reached for sweet potatoes instead of white rice. He believed they were kinder to the body and offered stronger long-term protection. And he wasn't wrong. Studies by the National Institutes of Health show that foods high in anthocyanins, like Japanese sweet potatoes, may improve circulation, calm inflammation, and even help preserve brain function as we age. Now let me introduce you to Paul. He's 69, dealing with prediabetes, tired all the time, and fed up. Like many folks, he'd cut out all carbs, thinking it was the smart move, even the healthy ones. But his energy was in the gutter, and his cravings were getting worse. That's when his dietitian suggested something different. Try steamed Japanese sweet potatoes. No butter, no brown sugar, no deep frying, just clean and simple. Paul added half a cup to his lunch each day. 2 weeks later, he wasn't crashing mid-afternoon anymore. His cravings were way down, and for the first time in months, his blood sugar readings were leveling out. Here's what this means for you. Carbs aren't the enemy. You just need to choose the right ones, just like the Japanese have done for generations. But here's the real wisdom from Dr. Hinohara. It goes beyond food. Let's wrap this up with what he believed mattered most. It's not just about what you eat, it's about the life you build around your meals. Dr. Hinohara didn't obsess over calories or cut out entire food groups. I followed a rhythm, he once said, a rhythm full of simplicity, purpose, and joy. Each morning he'd sip warm miso soup, take a walk, and read something inspiring. He never ate to the point of feeling stuffed, not because of discipline, but because of respect for his body. Even into his 90s, he'd skip the elevator and take the stairs. He stayed mentally active, giving talks, writing books, and smiling through it all. To stay young, he said, you have to keep having fun. Then there's Marie, 71. For years, she scrutinized every food label, low carb, sugar-free, you name it, but it just left her anxious and overwhelmed. Then she stumbled on Dr. Hinohara's story. She started small, just 20 minutes of walking each morning. She slowed down at meals, made time for a peaceful cup of tea in the afternoon. I even planted basil and mint on my windowsill, she laughed, just to watch something grow. That shift changed everything, because real health isn't just about what's physical, it's emotional, mental, and deeply tied to the rhythms of your day. So next time you think about your health goals, remember this. Don't just focus on grams of protein, focus on peaceful mornings. Don't just cut sugar, invite more laughter. Don't just fix your diet, nourish your spirit. And if you're feeling unsure about where to begin, just keep it simple. Start with joy. Begin like that cheerful doctor who lived past 100 and never stopped smiling. Coming up next, we'll revisit the 5 key habits and show you how to take that first doable step. Now let's tie it all together. These aren't complex wellness hacks. They're easy, gentle adjustments practiced daily by some of the longest-living folks on Earth. Inspired by America's own version of the legendary Japanese centenarian doctor, here are 5 lifestyle tweaks you can put into action starting today. Stop eating before you feel full. Aim for about 80%. It's easier on your stomach, keeps your energy steady, and helps you age with grace. Load up on plant-based proteins like black beans, chickpeas, or tofu. They're quick to prep and kind to your system. Add some fermented foods to your plate. Think sauerkraut, kimchi, or even a splash of apple cider vinegar. They boost gut health and support immunity. Choose carbs that love you back, like roasted sweet potatoes or brown rice. These give you fuel without the sugar crash. Keep things light. Laugh more, stress less. Remember, it's not just about what's on your plate, it's about how you live. These small shifts help protect your heart, sharpen your mind, support digestion, and keep you moving freely. And the best part? You don't need to overhaul your entire life today. Just pick one forkful, one pause before your next bite, one habit to carry you forward. Which tip stands out to you today? Drop it in the comments below. Your pick could spark change for someone else who's watching. Up next, we're diving into a so-called health food that might actually be dragging you down and making aging feel harder than it needs to be. Let's wrap this one up. Living longer doesn't require a flawless game plan. What matters is staying consistent with small, meaningful steps, starting now. Try adding some miso to your soup, steam up a sweet potato, or share a smile during lunch. These little things add up. And here's the truth. It's not just about more years in your life. It's about more life in your years. So who's ready to jump in? Leave a hi in the comments if you're saying yes to this journey toward vibrant aging. Catch you in the next video, where we uncover a so-called superfood that might just be speeding up the aging process more than you think.